o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nope. Hello, good morning.
Next I have,
You got BJ on there?
next I have is approval of today's agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is approval of minutes of March 27th.
I will make a motion to approve the March 27th minutes.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is approval of claims for payment of April 3rd.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is consideration to approve Hardin County Child Abuse Prevention Coalition Proclamation. Jennifer Rundle. Want to come up to the podium?
Well, sure.
All right, so the 2023 Hardin County Child Abuse Prevention Coalition Child Abuse Prevention Month Proclamation. Whereas in 2021, there were 68 confirmed or founded cases of child abuse in Hardin County. And whereas child abuse and neglect is a serious problem affecting every segment of our community, and finding solutions requires input and action from everyone. And whereas our children are our most valuable resource and will shape the future of Hardin County. And whereas child abuse can have a long-term psychological and emotional and physical effects that have lasting consequences for victims of abuse. And whereas protective factors are conditions that reduce or eliminate risk and promote social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children. And whereas whereas effective child abuse prevention activities succeeded because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families. And whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs and activities that create strong and thriving children and families. And whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promote the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. And whereas prevention remains the best defense for our children and families. Now, therefore, we, the Hardin County Board of Supervisors, do hereby proclaim April 2023 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Hardin County and urge all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for all children and families. Dated this in Eldora, this 3rd day of April, 2023.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will make a motion to approve the Hardin County Child Abuse Prevention Coalition 2023 Child Abuse Prevention Month Proclamation.
I will second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Nothing.
No. Roll call.
Please.
Aye.
Renee.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next I have is considering, thank you.
Thank you.
Next I have consideration to approve Friends of Pine Lake proposal, Marilyn.
You want me up there?
Yep.
Sure, okay.
Thank you. You're welcome.
No problem.
All right, well, hopefully you've had a chance to read over what was in your packet. But I think we all know that in terms of economic development, tourism, and quality of life for current and prospective residents, Pine Lake State Park is the gem of Hardin County. Tourism is so important for us. I don't know that we're going to get factories back. So I think tourism is where we need to start emphasizing our area, because we have so many beautiful conservation areas in Hardin County, and Pine Lake is just a gem of that. So it is the 6th most visited state park in Iowa, and there are 63 state parks. So for us to be 6th, that's really says that people really appreciate and come to Pine Lake. In 2022, the Pine Lake cabins saw a 95% occupancy on the weekends, 80% overall, and license plates from all over the state and beyond can be seen at the park nearly every day. Yesterday morning, Ron and I talked with a couple who had come from Rochester, Minnesota with their family. And they were so impressed, even though all the lakes in Minnesota, they came to Pine Lake State Park. And they were so impressed. They're like, wow, this is beautiful here. We'd like to come back. We're going to reserve it for next year again. So, you know, that's just a little anecdote about some of the people that are out there so regularly. So the Pine Lake State Park plays that vital role in attracting visitors to Hardin County, providing recreational opportunities to residents near and far. While natural resources always require care and maintenance, the needs at the park grew exponentially following that 2009 hailstorm. The tree canopy was stripped bare, and the understory vegetation just went nuts. It ran wild. Invasive species taking over in many areas. Those invasives often outcompete and even strangle desirable trees and plants. Holding back the invasion of other needs requires resources far beyond those of the normal park staff and the volunteer efforts of those of us who are in Friends of Pine Lake. Unfortunately, the pandemic stopped the normal fundraising activities of the Friends of Pine Lake, but the needs certainly didn't stop. Given the economic and recreational value of Pine Lake State Park to Hardin County, the Friends of Pine Lake kindly request $6,720 to hire the 6-person crew from the Conservation Corps of Iowa and Minnesota to help the park staff with their needs to remove the invasive vines and trees that have been marked by the district forester. This vital work will improve the health, appearance, and usability of Pine Lake State Park and will benefit the neighboring church camps, the bike trail, the golf course, and all the critical assets for residents and tourism in Hardin County. Now, the $6,720 is not the total cost. The total cost would be a lot closer to $8,000 to hire these 6-person crew for 1 week. That's all the longer they'd be here. And we were hoping that there would still be some COVID-19 relief money available to help us out with getting this crew here to improve Pine Lake State Park.
Any questions? Hey, have we contacted the state at all?
Yes, our park manager said he could see if the state could help out in some small way. I mean, with 63 state parks. So I don't know that they can just target us. But he thought he could check into the use of 1 or 2 cabins to house them. That would help a lot.
The state cabins down there.
Yeah, yeah, but that would mean, of course, them not being used for any visitors.
Right.
So that takes away that income. So I don't know. That's something the park manager would have to look into.
You're right. So when it comes to ARPA funds, I mean, we have a lot of in-county money that we can spend it on already.
Sure.
I know this is a great cause. Don't ever think I don't think this. The problem that I have is that it's a state park and we spend a lot of money on the conservation side on the county parks as well. Have you reached out to county conservation also? Their board?
I have not. I'm not
Okay.
on a board for Friends of Pine Lake. It was just,
Okay,
you know, at a meeting.
so I think we can talk to both those people, just to see if
The
there's any.
state and the county conservation people?
Yeah,
Who would I contact at county conservation?
West
West
Wees.
Wees.
West Wees, okay,
And they may have the staff to turn around and help. Obviously, they have all their own to take care of. They got 3,500 acres they take care of in this
Sure.
county. Is the ARPA funds, like I said, we can spend it, no problem. Taylor can spend it on bridges in about 20 minutes.
sure.
No, and I know it doesn't sound like that much, but let's try to find some new resources other than the ARPA funds right now.
Would you be willing to put any amount
I don't
toward
know.
it?
I don't know if I want to at this point
I-
because it is state property.
Right, and I guess I would tend to agree. With the amount that we put towards our county parks, and then I just have a fear that if we start putting anything towards state parks, they're gonna be probably, if they can't maintain their own parks, they could possibly someday be turning those over to the county also, and so I hate to start putting county money into state parks.
Now, the roads we take care of through there. In the ditches.
But we didn't used to do that either. It's the same thing. Here you go, it's a gift. And then we have to deal with it.
Right. So I would much rather see other resources used and possibly pursued prior to my decision or,
Okay,
Yeah,
so once we
Putting
pursue
in other
those, if
funds.
we come up empty, we
We'll-
can come back
we'll
to
bring-
you,
we'll bring it back up as a discussion.
okay.
and
Okay.
BJ is not here today. I don't know what his thought would be either, so, you know,
Sure.
he
Sure,
might.
But I do know the state's pretty good at letting us pay their bills and then turn around and giving us more.
Yeah.
okay,
Hey, and that sounds bad, but that's what they've been doing to us every year. They just keep adding on to us.
okay,
And this one's kind of the opposite. I know the cause is great.
Mhm.
Could there be other volunteers? You have more volunteers out there helping as well.
not very many,
Okay,
no. It takes able-bodied people
okay.
and knowing what they're doing.
Right,
You have to know what you're doing.
yeah, you have to know it's a.
And that's why I said,
Yeah,
it's kind of,
You have to be able to identify
Mhm.
things and know how to treat it, and yeah, it's,
True.
I would have to, I'd have to talk to Wes at Conservation to see now that I know the whole scope. He
okay,
does have able-bodied people know what they're doing,
sure, oh, yeah, yeah,
but I don't know, maybe they can get volunteers together too and donate some time, but that's up to that commission as well.
so,
Yeah, they have their own board.
okay. So what do we tell the
I would go to them with the
Or
same
of
information that,
Conservation Corps of Iowa and Minnesota? Can we even ask them to come if we don't
If you don't have the funding,
have
Right.
funding?
right?
This is the bare minimum of funding to bring them here,
Okay,
yeah.
well, is there a deadline on when they need to know?
I think it's probably passed.
Okay,
I mean, I think if I have my information correct, our park manager has already contacted them and found out what week they can be here. And maybe reserved that.
okay,
We were hopeful that we could get, some amount of funding from you, because obviously the Friends of Pine Lake doesn't have the funds to do this, not by ourselves.
right.
We might be able to bring it up from the 6720 up to the 8,000, that's the total.
Well, I hate to tell you no at this moment, but let's sit on it for a week and see if we can find something.
Okay,
and maybe contact Wes Weiss and
so
see.
you want me to do that, not,
I-
you kind of mentioned that you might let.
You can go ahead and contact him as
Okay.
well. You'll have more information, but I'm gonna contact him either way to let him know you're coming
Sure.
and to tell him where
Sure.
we're at.
Yeah. We
Because
don't,
I'm not gonna volunteer his
Right.
manpower either. That's for him and his board to do.
right,
But that's more in their realm.
yeah. Considering the tourism potential, I don't want to lose this Pine Lake State Park. It's one of the reasons we came here. I
Yeah, I
think
don't
there's
disagree.
other people
Yeah,
who that's one of the reasons they came here too. So, yeah, I mean, we're fortunate to have a state park.
Hmm.
I got Pauline, don't answer yet. Sign up for public comment And then when I come to public comment, ask your questions, okay?
Okay,
Yeah, I know that this is her presentation.
okay,
All right,
all right, thank you.
thank
Yes,
you.
Thank
I'll be
you.
in touch then.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week again.
Sure.
yeah,
All
and see
right,
where
all
we're at.
right, so do you want me to get myself on the agenda again for next week?
I think we can just go ahead and table till next week.
Sure. Yeah, okay, I'll make a motion to table this until next week then.
I'll second. Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. You're on next week.
Thank you.
You
All
bet.
right,
Thanks for coming.
All right, thank you.
Next I have is consideration to approve utility permit.
I will make a motion to approve utility permit UT 23-008 for Alliant Energy. It's installing a new line between 130th Street and Roxylvania Avenue.
I will second that. Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is another utility permit for Alliant.
Yes, I have UT 23-009. Also for Alliant Energy for installing a line between M Avenue and Roxylvania Avenue.
I will second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next I have is consideration for the 5-year construction program. Taylor.
Sure. So just kind of getting into this, my budget's due a couple weeks before yours, so that's why it's on now. So you guys already know this is more for the public consumption. We'll kind of go over where the money comes from. So this applies to the budget too. So about a third of our revenue comes from property taxes here, and the majority, which is like over 2/3, sometimes it's up to 75% of my budget comes from the road use tax money and registrations and fees like that. The money doesn't change year to year on that, like you get, for gas, I get 20, it's not just me, but it goes in the whole state fund. Ethanol's 29 cents per gallon, gasoline's 30.7 cents, diesel's 32.5. So, rising cost inflation, that doesn't change. The money is what it is. So, and out of that, the DOT gets about 50%. And they only have 9% of the roads, but that's a different story for a different time. The cities get 20% and the counties get 30% that we own. So obviously the biggest problem now is that our money amount is the same, but all of our projects have gotten more expensive. So therefore, we have less power to do anything. So there's less projects over time. So in this 5-year plan, I literally only added one project. Everything just kind of got moved back. We had the 4 years and everything just kind of got slid back. And the only one I added, 80% of it is getting paid for out of a different fund that we got awarded from our region. So that's really the only thing I did other than kind of move stuff around. But yeah, it is what it is. And I can go over some of the projects at least, that way people know what's going on. So this year, we can go ahead and update people. This isn't on this, but the things going on this year. We got a bridge on T Avenue, south of D65. We got the paving of D65 by Garden City. We got the Alden Bridge, and then we got paving on 170th that hasn't been let yet. So we'll see what the price come in on that. And that's at Pine Lake Corn Processor. You guys just approved it a couple weeks ago. Okay, so now going into the things in front of you. The biggest projects are the Owasso Bridge, which that should not come out of our funds at all either. The paving of C73, that's the Franklin County line, and that one they will pay for 50%, we'll pay for 50%. And then we have a bridge on H Avenue over by Buckeye. And then the things that I'm trying to squeeze into the budget, I'm proposing using lost dollars and our county funds, because I don't think prices are ever gonna go back down. I think they're only gonna go up. So we got this carryover fund, so I think we should probably try to capitalize on that and lost now before things get more expensive. So I have a bridge over on D Avenue by Buckeye. And the reason that needs done is there's 2 bridges. They're on each mile from each other. And they're both in very bad shape. They both have 20-ton limits or less. I think the one I want to do has 10 tons. So therefore, if they're both out, then people can't get through. So we need to do one of the bridges. So that's why that one's on the list and we need to do it ASAP. And then the lost money I'd like to use for 3 bridge deck replacements. That kind of grind off the top, get down to the rebar, and then they pour a new deck. And it should buy it another 30 years, so
They putting pillars in too? When they do?
No.
Okay,
no. And then that's kind of all for 2024. And moving on to 2025, we will try to do the bridge with the city of Iowa Falls. That's on the east side of town there by the pre-stress plant. And then there's a bridge down by Gifford Quarry on the highway. Would be the other one there. You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
it's a little one there.
Yeah. Yep. And that one will be a box culvert. And so we're gonna have to, because of the trails right there and the Gifford Quarry property. We're probably gonna have to make it longer and just kind of sashay the trail over so it can use the same structure and. Yeah, it's just logistically what's gonna have to happen. So I remember talking to Chris Wiegand about it, like, hey, you're gonna get one bridge for free on your trail out of us because so that's just kind of the way it's gonna work. So, you know, putting another 10 feet on the culvert ain't gonna kill us.
Right, okay,
Yep.
good.
Now we're starting to get back into the things I had to start pushing back. So for 2026, I have the paving of the Sherman Road and the shortcut to Hubbard. And then a bridge on D41, kind of towards the Hamilton County line. And then 2027, I have, this is the one that was just approved by the region. It'd be paving D41, kind of from the training school up to D35. And then to tack onto that, because it'll never be cheaper, we will pave T Avenue, which is Washington Street, leaving Eldora here to the north. So otherwise, you're never gonna spend the money on that thing, so that's just a mile. And then after that, it's just kind of some random bridges that keep getting pushed down the list.
And that goes to the stop sign.
Yes.
Okay. I know you took some of the pavement out here a few years ago when you took that viaduct out,
Yep.
just seeing how far you're pulling back on
Yeah, I
that
think
pavement.
probably did the T intersection makes sense.
Okay.
Yep. So that's kind of where our 5-year plan stands. I only added one project, but it's kind of where we're at.
Okay.
If things change in, you know, the years, then that's fine. I mean, you're really only worried about the current year,
Right.
but the DOT always likes to know our plans.
Right. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Yep.
I make a motion to approve the fiscal year 24 Iowa DOT 5-year construction program.
Yeah, I will second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Lance.
Aye.
Renee.
Aye.
Motion carries. I don't think BJ's on yet. Next is the DOT secondary roads budget.
So now we're doing the budget, which will be the same thing you guys will approve in a couple weeks for my budget. Most of it stayed about the same. The only things that really changed, we have about a year's worth of carryover, and that's a lot. It's nice to have. But again, with the rising prices, there's things we gotta do. Mainly, other than kind of keeping status quo on my budget, the things that we wanted to do that have added in, we had the fire at the shop. So we wanted to build a new shop. It's budgeted. Will it get done in the next year? I doubt it, but the money's there. We need it. And then I have the bridge project that I mentioned earlier that we got budget, and that same thing. If it comes in higher than we can afford, then it doesn't get done either, and our carryover just keeps floating along.
So we're clear, it's budgeted, but we're not taxing for it. It's coming out of your carryover.
Correct, all of it out of our carryover.
This carryover, most of that got built up that high because of all the flooding that we had and the paperwork you guys did.
Correct, we
to
got about
retrieve from
2.2
FEMA.
million out of that.
Yeah.
Our carryover is at like 6.7 million, I think. And so, yeah, it's a
So,
very healthy amount right now.
yes. And it can go away pretty quick too.
Correct, that's why I'm a little nervous, but like I said, well, just because we're budgeting doesn't mean we're definitely spending it this year either.
Right.
Yep.
Any questions?
Not for me.
I can entertain a motion.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the fiscal year 24 DOT secondary roads budget.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call.
Lance.
Aye.
Renee.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is consideration to approve a bird-friendly Iowa recertification application. I think we've done this for 2 or 3 years now.
Oh, do you want me to go ahead and read it?
Yeah, that, yeah.
Okay, for bird friendly Iowa County recertification. Let me see. Okay, this isn't what I thought it was. So it's applied for by Kit Paper from Conservation. And let's see, they're not really saying as far as what the recertification plan is or whatever, but anyway, there's a fee of $100 to approve the recertification. So I would make a motion to approve the bird friendly Iowa County recertification application.
I will second. It's been moved and second. Discussion, that $100 would come out of conservation's budget, correct?
Yes.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Lance,
Aye.
Renee,
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is motion to ratify the buy-sell agreement for purchase of 100 North State Street in Hubbard. Carol and Taylor have been working on this and we are down to this point.
Yeah, we kind of came up with so we did have the money in the budget before the fire to do it all this fiscal year. And Daryl talked to them, we kind of came up with the deal of we're paying 200 grand or 300 grand this year, and then come July 1, we'll pay the remainder. So,
And they've agreed to that already?
yes, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion to ratify the buy-sell agreement for the purchase of 100 North State Street in Hubbard, Iowa.
I will second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
It may take a second motion, but the buy-sell agreement required $1,000 earnest money. So just make sure that.
It's in the agreement, $1,000.
Right, okay. Just authorize whatever department you're gonna have write that check, and then that'll be applied toward the purchase price, but.
Take them out of your
binds both
department.
Parties then.
Okay. So do you want to do the second motion then?
Cool, we haven't voted on the first one.
Right.
I don't know if a second motion is needed. If it states it in here, we just need to.
So long as whoever's gonna write the check knows that they're being directed to do that.
Okay, Taylor? All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Did you want to use that as a motion to direct Taylor to?
Yeah, I can make a motion to direct Taylor to submit the $1,000 payment.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
He's already initialed that next to the $1,000 on the agreement.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next, we have consideration to approve Jolene Peters, auditor, as authorized business officer for county credit cards. I'm assuming it was Ashley before.
yes.
We need
And
you.
until our new person starts, I think what we'll do is then we'll add a second person because there's room for two people.
Okay,
And that's in case we need to cancel cards, change cards, anything like that.
okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve Jolene Peters, auditor, as the authorized business officer for the county credit cards.
I will second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We have no change of statuses.
Okay.
Moving to other business.
I have no other business.
People should have paid their taxes by now.
Yeah. Yes, the deadline is passed, so there will be interest. And just a reminder that our office will be closed tomorrow for all staff training, so. Okay. Just a reminder.
Okay, Taylor, you've said a lot already. Deb, hearing no more, I can go to public comments. Has anybody signed up for public comments? Pauline, come on up.
Can I just sit from here?
Nah, come to the podium.
You know, I hate this.
Yeah, it looks nice.
You make everybody do it.
Why are you so cruel? Okay,
My first public comment was gonna be about the taxes going up, but I talked to Connie and I mean, I understand all that part. I'm asking you guys, go talk to the finance people in Des Moines and tell them, hey, stop this. Hardin County has a lot of elderly people and it's hard for them to afford this. Can you do that?
We can, but they don't listen.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'll be good luck with that anyway.
I realize that, but I wish you could.
Mhm. Wish we had more influence, but
Yeah, so do I. And I know right now for Connie, I kind of feel for her because I had to wait in line while others were kind of bang booming her. But I realized kind of what's going on with that. And I talked to the new birds outside, so I got that question answered.
Okay.
The other one I have is, I guess I've got two, like when one of you is missing, can that be on the record, like why that person is missing?
Unless they state.
yeah. I mean, it's noted in the minutes as far as who is in attendance. But as far as the reason why you're not there,
I mean, we
That-
can't
to me, that-
just put it in general, like sick or
No,
at meeting.
absolutely not.
no, that would be probably a HIPAA violation possibly. I would say not.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know unless Daryl has another thought, but I just don't think that's never been done in the past, and I just don't see us doing that.
No, that person would have to explain why they want it. It's
Right.
their explanation to give, not ours.
okay. Is there anything written like on how many meetings you guys can miss?
No.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And then the other one I have is probably for the county attorney. And I guess I'd like,
Remember, it's public comment, not questions.
okay,
Yeah, go ahead and make the comment.
I mean, it's more directed toward the county attorney. And it's just a comment,
Okay,
Okay.
but, because I mean, it kind of goes like all over, but, I guess I'd like to know, because I've read in the papers, why we let felons release them from jail, or we set their bonds lower, or and we actually really know by what we've read in the paper that they are going to be repeat offenders. And then we read in a couple of weeks that, guess what? They've reoffended, they're back in jail. Why, as a county, do we do those kinds of things and let these people reoffend and hurt other people? As a county, can't we stand together and keep either these people in jail or do something? Because there's a lot of people that get hurt by this. And I guess I'd like to see this change. If we could.
Okay. I don't know if Daryl wants to answer anything, probably not. My answer is,
I agree, but
Yeah.
we're not the ones.
We're not
that's
the judge.
judges. We tell them, don't let them out, and they get out. We don't get to set the bond, the judge sets that, so it's just, we're as frustrated with it as you are, I can tell you that.
I kind of figured that. But if there was anything we could do, I'd appreciate it.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
That was the only public comment, correct? All right, I can ask for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Motion carried, we're adjourned. Thank you.